I thought I'd do something just a little bit different with Random Review today, just to have a little bit of fun and as an excuse to pull out the Ghost Driver, which is currently being worn by the ever-faithful Ride Bucket, because I thought I'd review some of the Ghost Eyecons that have been coming in lately as in I just now got a big box of them shipped to me. So we're going to go through a few of them and just see how they turned out. How many? I don't know. I literally have a pile sitting beside me right now, and I'm just going to go through them until I feel like it's a video. So, let's get started. And we are going to start with the oldest of the individually released ones that I have, Robin Hood. I love this one. Robin Hood is probably up there with my favorite forms in Ghost so far. It may or may not have to do with this very nice emerald green icon they've created. So nice. Okay, so, if you've never seen a ghost icon before, where have you been? But more importantly, why are you watching this video? But more importantly still, this is what it looks like. It's a mechanical eyeball, a very interesting design. So, you do have the inner white of the eye, as well as this outer shell that's completely translucent, which not only protects the innards from getting messed with or damaged, but it also creates this very interesting, kind of ethereal look to the outer shell. It's very interesting. Around all of that, you have this much more mechanical detail, this big shell of plastic going all the way around, and you can see a lot of mechanical detailing for something that has supernatural origins. Kind of interesting. Looking all the way around, I do really like the design of these. I like the feel of them. It's nice and solid in your hand. And then here on the top, you have the icon that actually shows you which one you have in the belt at the time, since you'll be looking down at it. This is number 3, Robin, and you can see the face on that sticker. Nice metallic reflective too, because they love doing that on these DX releases. Okay, so that's pretty much the icon in general. I really dig these. So let's actually go through and see what we have on the lens itself. Well, you have that spiral look that has kind of course, it looks like an eye and an iris and all that, and the pupil, of course, in the center, but it also kind of has a more mechanical shutter effect to it, you know, the way like a camera lens or opens and closes, things like that. It's interesting. We click the button once, and we get the actual number. Again, all of these stickers are metallic and reflective, so it's a little bit hard to pick up on camera with effective lighting, but you can see there's a lot of different details in there. For instance, that look of like overlapping metals spiraling around, little panels overlapping, they kind of look like they're opening up on this one, which is neat. So, number 3, there we have the face itself, done in a metallic green, a lot of reflectives in there. I think it's interesting how they come up with the face and the icon that both match as well as give you that typical Kamen Rider look of the giant bug eyes. You can see the bow and arrow there, also creating the face of Ghost in this form. It's kind of a neat little trick they do with the designs on these toys. And there we have the Omega Drive, being, of course, a gigantic arrow and a bunch of speed lines, because Japan. A lot more metallic and a lot more reflective there. Kind of a bang effect in the background. Okay, so enough talking. We'll get that to number 3. That's its active phase. And get started. I really like the European medieval sounds that the music has on this icon. Really dig it. And of course, it shines it bright green, so yeah, I'm really going to be a fan of it. Now, this is why I have to show you the labels before we input them in the driver. You can see it's actually kind of hard to film when it goes so far into that toy. A lot of depth going through here, but you can still see the face, vaguely, especially in person. So, it does work out. I do like the effect of this driver, as always. Let's hear what the other noises sound like. Of course, it's mostly the same from here on out. Yeah, the Omega drives and the Omedamas are going to sound pretty much the same for all of the icons I show off today. Because, well, all they do is really change the light and change the basic name. Robin Hood actually has this nice little effect where it just happens to stop on the green when it gets to the signature point, like that, the main point of the sound effects for the attack. So it kind of works in a really, really strange way. Alright, so let's get him out of there. Good night to you too, but we aren't done yet because next up we're going to take a look at Billy the Kid. Yeah, unlike Robin Hood, this one's based on someone who we know existed. This one is an interesting color. It's done up in this very metallic bronze, which is supposed to be, well, I guess it's as close to a nice-looking brown as you can get. Bronze pretty much is a code for nice-looking brown. That's pretty much shiny brown is pretty much it. So yeah, same aesthetic, same design, same molding all the way around. Still looks quite neat, and I really do like this color. It does give you a bit of an Old West vibe, very suited to the character itself. The only real difference outside is that sticker, which now has, you can see the 6-shooter there forming the center, and the eyes now formed by the big bang from the gun itself. There is some clever design work going on, I will admit. They look strange as far as Kamen Rider faces go, but I applaud the imagination it takes to design something like that. And we have Billy the Kid down there, and number 5. Oh, and by the way, just because I didn't mention it before, yeah, they all have the QR code on the back. Scan that in, takes you to the forums webpage on the Kamen Rider Ghost website. So hey, there's a little bit of function to it, I guess. So yeah, same spiral design, same overlapping metal panels. Click in, we see them opening up. Now number 5, scrolled across the front. Here we see the face again. Same metallic effect, same kind of orange and brown color. This is one thing, I like that little glitter effect, but especially on camera, it does make the face kind of hard to see, especially if it's a darker color they've gone with. I'll click in one more time to get the big shotgun effect and a big bang. Of course, a lot of bangs on this one, isn't there? Alright, so let's get it ready and open up again. Here, have an eyeball. I will credit them. They didn't go with Western music. They went with kind of an American rock and roll, so American folk hero type thing. Folk hero. Criminal. Let's be historically accurate here. But yeah, it's a nice sound effect to it. I do enjoy this one as well. Not quite as much as Robin Hood, but hey, that's probably just the guy who really loves the color green in me. Alright, so let's hear the Omega Drive. And Omedama sounds the same, doesn't it? I have to hit the handle so many times for the Omedama, it's sliding all over the table. Sorry, I had to rip your eye out. Okay, so that's 2 of Ghosts, so just to play fair and give us a little bit of variety, time to look at 1 of Spectres. This is number 11, Tutankhamun, an Egyptian-themed icon who causes my camera to go out of focus from time to time. Again, a lot of glitter. it makes it very difficult to see. I will say his is a little bit thinner on the theme. The eyes kind of match the sickles that he's using for a weapon. Sickle's not really, I don't know, that start, like, okay, so, hang on, I'll show you the icon so I have a better visual example. So, okay, you have the inner lens again, a little bit of a blue shade to it to match. So we'll click through. Number 11 this time, which actually does give us a better chance to see all those little shutters opening up and such. I assume that's what it is, because it kind of looks that way. There's the face again. You can see there is a shape of two sides pointing inward. That creates the face, though it's much more subtle than some of the others. You know, he doesn't have a big 6-shooter sticking in the front of his face. And there is the sight itself for the Omega Drive. I don't associate sickles and scythes as weapons from, like, Egyptian culture and something Tutankhamun would be around. Well, they're farming utensils. You know, historically, they aren't really weapon appropriate. But, hey, it looks cool. And I've been waiting for a Kamen Rider that uses a scythe. I guess we're going with the whole Anubis death thing. Okay, you can kind of make a case for it. Alright, so, number 11, QR code just in case you want to scan it. Alright. Let's open it up and see the differences. Or hear them. Because this is audio. There's a few interesting change-ups here. For instance, yes, of course, the standby sounds different because it's saying different words. What's also interesting is this is the first icon that I've tested out that has a different light color than the actual Eyecons color. You'll notice Billy the Kid was kind of an orange, so it matches. And of course Robin Hood was green. Now we have yellow as opposed to the blue icon that I just inserted, which is kind of an interesting thing. It plays with expectations a little bit, so not unpleasant. I do think the music on this one is a little underwhelming. I know, it's not my preference, but hey, it doesn't sound bad or anything. So, let's hear it more. The way he's saying Tutankhamun is sound a little bit weird next to the Omega Drive, so now I'm actually kind of curious how this sounds. It's like totally changing levels of excitement and emphasis. It's kind of weird. So yeah, aside from the standby noise and maybe a little bit of playing around with the light colors, there's really not a whole lot of difference to Spectre's icons, which I guess makes some kind of sense. Yes, yes. Good night to you too. Thank you for the hard work. Alright, so I think that's about where I'm going to call it. This has been a fun little experiment. Alright, so 3 icons today. Tutankhamun, Billy the Kid, and Robin Hood. I'm still going to say Robin Hood is probably my favorite amongst the 3. I like the color. I like the sound effects a little bit more. Of course, it kind of suits me the best, I think, because I've always been something for medieval history and medieval stylings, and the myths of Robin Hood were always well set for me. And yeah, it's a nice metallic emerald green, which just looks so pretty. The others are really cool too. Billy the Kid has preference to me. I like the rock music, and the bronze color is neat. Tutankhamun, I do like the extra standby noise, and the switch up on the colors is neat. But I do find the music to be a little bit lacking compared to the others. There's an emphasis that I'm missing. But that's just me. Any of them are fine. I have no real like solid complaints. Like, oh my god, this ruins the toy. Nope. So far, the Eyecons have all been pretty solid as noisemakers, and I'm comfortable recommending any of the 3. Just, if you like it, buy it. You're probably not going to be disappointed. unless you don't own a DX Ghost Driver and can't hear the music. Then you might be disappointed.